At Miller Coors, we take pride in brewing the best beer possible for our consumers. Both our breweries and packaging are designed to ensure that quality is never compromised. Making sure that same quality is what reaches the shelves is where you come in. Sometimes product can be compromised during transportation, handling, and storage. That means we all need to make sure the saleable product arrives to consumers as if nothing has happened. Therefore, proper product rework and repack is vital to our business. Repack minimizes costs and reduces revenue loss. It also assures that all products that hit retail shelves represent a consistent, positive brand experience. Product packaging is one way that consumers perceive quality, so it's extremely important that we recognize and fix packaging issues as soon as they're identified. When repacking, we need to make sure that we're constantly defending our product against the three enemies of beer: light, aging, and heat. This video will provide you the details you need to make sure we deliver the best quality beer in the best packaging every time. One tool that Miller Coors has to help ensure freshness is our package codes. They contain a pull date that is the last date the product should be sold. You can use them to determine freshness of product and what product can be packaged together. Being able to read these codes is vital to the repack process, so here's a quick tutorial. Here is what the code looks like on all primary packaging. The first line is the pull date: month, day, year. Pull dates will always be on Monday, except for some imports. The next line is called the tracking code. It shows the production information for the product. The first letter is the day of the week, represented by an alphabetical system. A equals Monday, B equals Tuesday, and so on. The second two-digit number is for the brewery, followed by production line, hour, and minute for that product. Now let's take a look at how to read codes on secondary packaging. The first line is again the pull date. It's the same as on the primary packaging: month, day, and year. The second line has many similarities, but with more information. In addition to the production information, as on the primary packaging, it is followed with the tax ID number and SKU. Pull dates and tracking codes can be found in several different places. On bottles, they can appear on the neck, shoulder, or back label. On cans, it will be printed on the bottom dome. On secondary packaging, you can find both codes on either the side or top of the carton. When secondary packaging is compromised and the primary packaging is still in good condition, we need to repack it into new secondary packaging. We call this reworking the product. Reworked product needs to be addressed quickly to avoid loss due to age. It also needs to be in the best condition possible, just like it came off the production line. Sometimes product will need to be immediately cleaned and then stored for repack. The repack area should be clean and organized. All repack areas should have a fresh water supply, such as a sink, though frequently refreshed water buckets are also acceptable. It should also have pest control and be cleaned often to prevent dust and debris accumulation. Bulk bin storage is not allowed. Products should be organized, separated by package type, and staged on pallets that are shielded from sunlight. Glass bottles should be staged separately from cans, plastic bottles, aluminum bottles, and home draft. This is to prevent glass fragment transfer. When product is ready to be repacked, it is imperative to follow the rules. First, the primary and secondary packaging must match by brand. Current sustaining graphics should be used at all times, but it's not necessary to purchase promotional packaging. As product is being repacked, older products should be packed first by checking codes. Try to avoid mixing code dates, but if you do, make sure there is no more than a 14-day variance in the same package. Do not attempt to repack cans that have come in contact with beer or residual water. The cans are considered compromised and need to be destroyed. We line our cans to prevent corrosion from the inside. When cans come in contact with beer or water, it can cause secondary corrosion, which we call cancer of the can. Secondary corrosion looks like this. It's caused when a chemical reaction starts eating away at the aluminum surface of the can. It can look several different ways, but generally it has a pitted black, gray, or white appearance on the bottom dome or lid. Once secondary corrosion starts, it can't be stopped and will eventually burrow a hole through the aluminum, causing leaks. The only fix is to discard the product, so it doesn't contaminate other product. Blown scores and pinhole leakers are an indication that secondary corrosion may have started or occurred. If you see wet cases or leakage, immediate attention is required. Shrink wrap should be removed and good dry cases removed immediately. Product in wet cases should be quickly inspected for leakage or secondary corrosion. Any product that has been sitting in beer, beer-soaked packaging, or is showing signs of secondary corrosion should be discarded. Before repackaging the product, make sure you do a quality inspection of each can and bottle. Make sure there aren't any of the following: dented can seams, buckled ends, dented body or sides, bulged ends or bottom dome, rusted tops or blown scores, scuffed abrasion to primary packaging, dirty product, damaged labels, short fills or leakers, broken pilfer rings. Next, review secondary packaging. Make sure there isn't any scuffing, marking, or moisture damage on the packaging. When repacking the product, make sure to use older in-code product first. Continually rotate your shelved product so you're always using the oldest product as soon as possible. All product must be the same brand with less than 2 weeks of code variation. It should also be right side up and facing the same direction. If repacking into tertiary packing, it must contain the correct SKUs on the outside. As we mentioned before, when repacking product, it's important to use current sustaining graphics and that primary and secondary graphics match. Best-selling SKUs should be used for repack to sell through it quicker. You can't repack product if you don't have packaging, so it's important that you inventory and make sure you always have enough secondary packaging on hand. Once you're ready to seal the secondary packaging, you need to make sure that you use acceptable adhesives and the right amount. Hot glue, double-sided tape, and strip tape are all acceptable. Duct tape, scotch tape, masking tape, electrical tape, and staples are not acceptable and should never be used. Adhesives should always follow the same pattern as on the line at the brewery. There are glued target brackets on the flaps of each package, which indicate where adhesive should be placed. This shows the correct amount of adhesive to apply. Applying too much glue will cause it to leak from the sides like this and cannot be sold to consumers. Here are a couple examples of target bracket markings on some of our standard packaging. Proper adhesive application will result in a good fiber tear, which looks like this. All cases being delivered to retail must be full and properly closed. Open cases should never be sent to retail, including on-premise accounts. When repacking product, you need to add the proper pull date to the secondary and sometimes tertiary packaging. The format of the code date on the secondary and tertiary packaging must match the primary packaging. The tracking code is not necessary and does not need to be added. When making labels, you should use a font that is similar in size to the brewery-produced packaging. Codes can never be handwritten or stamped and should be done with a professional labeling device using black ink on clear tape. All packaging requires consistent pull date codes from primary, secondary, and tertiary. The following format should be followed: 3-letter month, 2-digit day, and 2-digit year, with no spaces or dashes in between. Any secondary or tertiary packages received from Miller Coors without code dates must be labeled as if they were repacked. A claim may be filed for labor and materials through the normal distributor credit request process. If the beer arrived at the distributorship from the brewery damaged or without proper code dates on the packaging. Trade account repacking by distributor personnel is permitted, provided appropriate measures are used to ensure proper procedures are followed. All of this work is done to ensure that perfect product hits the shelves. Intentionally repacking out-of-code product, misrepresenting actual code dates, and removing or altering code dates is considered fraudulent activity and is not permitted. So you're probably wondering why this is so important. Well, you're the Miller Coors representative who handles the product before consumers purchase it. Repack operations and practices are a high-risk area for mistakes. By making sure repack product reaches the shelf and cooler looking perfect, we keep consumers picking our brands over the competition. Educating our retailers is also extremely important. Telling them about acceptable and unacceptable packaging is key. Cutting and taping packages together to make smaller packaging is not acceptable. High cone ringers need to have all the same pull dates. Working together for a consistent brand image, we can keep our customers coming back by ensuring they get a great product. We're here to help. Contact us at the Distributor Quality Hotline if you have any questions. We want to make sure you have everything you need to send out the best product possible.